So about what what transpired, the national debate in the Philippines about Vice Ganda versus Manny Pacquiao. It's obvious to me that the LGBT propaganda is not part of the equality program by, of course, the U.S. President then Barack Hussein Obama. It's more of a globalist agenda. And if you talk about globalist agenda, it means you have to establish same-sex marriage, you have to support terrorists, support feminists, destabilize Russia, destabilize China, destabilize even Syria, what they're doing right now. Oh, the stupid leaders in Western politics, Obama or Angela Merkel or David Pig Cameron or even John Kerry, Hillary Clinton, and to mind all my viewers that just days ago, an anti-gay judge by the name Judge Antonin Scalia was discovered dead. The suspicious thing I saw was, in the first investigation, he had a pillow on his face. And it was also published in Wikipedia, but days after, that entry is gone. Why? Of course, there's so much suspicion, there's so more conspiracy theory. It means he was murdered by the globalists, and then the disgrace that Obama is doing during the judge's funeral, he will just play golf somewhere else instead of paying tribute to the fallen comrade, of course. And going back to Manny Pacquiao versus Vice Ganda, I would like to send a message to Vice Ganda. Vice Ganda, you're just showing you're an agent of the globalist scum. You're a globalist. You and Boyabunda reacted to Manny Pacquiao to promote same-sex marriage. Same-sex marriage, by the way, promotes sodomy, promotes destabilization of society, destruction of family values, and most of all, you're just advancing the plan of George Soros or the Rockefellers or Rothschilds, the selfish bankers that wanted war instead of helping people in Africa or in Asia. There's a lot of people who need not money but education, jobs. Instead of going into war on Syria or Iraq or funding ISIS, I don't know why Vice Ganda. I have a message for you. If you reacted to Manny Pacquiao, why can't you react to the gays that are being killed in cold blood by ISIS in Iraq and Syria? Why aren't you outraged? And yet you became a champion of the gay community in the Philippines. Why? I want to ask you that question. And to Boyabunda, you're also a part of the globalist agenda. You are one of them. It's very obvious. I know you'd be hurt, I know. But for me, gays are just people. I mean, let them be as long as they don't spread the propaganda that is the LGBT propaganda or establish same-sex marriage in the Philippines. I cannot allow that. And many Filipinos won't allow it. Look at Russia. The Christian revival in Russia. Look at that. Look at that. What's happening there is better for the country. It's for their society. They survive everything. They survive the sanctions against them by America and the West. Their economy is much better even if they have this slowdown. And most of all, they have trust in God. And more recently, 2 years ago, Vladimir Putin signed the decree that protects all religions, all cultures from from anything that will harm them, including same-sex marriage or LGBT propaganda, pride parade. I mean, look at the countries in Western Europe. Vice Ganda, Boyabunda. Look at Western Europe and America. Look at them. Look at how degenerate the culture is. Look at the Sodom, look at the propaganda, and then when we voice out our displeasure for those propaganda established by the globalists in Wall Street or the stupid bankers, we will be killed. People will be surprised one day that in the news, any one of us, or Alex Jones or Michael Savage, or even those who run We Are Change, or even the simple activists around the world like me would be found dead, and they will say it's a suicide. But how about Judge Scalia? He was found dead, but no autopsy was found. Come on. I told some of my friends if they discover one day in the news that I'm dead, it means, and then there's a suicide note, it means it's the killers are paid to kill me. The killers are paid to make a suicide note, and then they will put something on my hands to make it sure that I committed suicide, even if I will never commit suicide. Right now, we live in a world where the most callous things are good. I mean, we are just humans, but why would we spread hateful propaganda, or why would we spread anti-God things like same-sex marriage or preaching war? I was even bashed in the page, the fake nationalist page called One Nationalist. I was bashed a lot of times though there. I'm speaking my mind. I have to stop the war between the Philippines and China because the globalists in Wall Street are angering China. George Soros even admitted he wants to bet about the destruction of the Chinese economy, and that said, I know China will not start the war. It's the Philippines. It's my home country. Because there's a lot of fake nationalists in the Philippines that wanted war. They want war just to get their share of the Spratlys, but after the war, if the Philippines will win with American assistance, of course, the globalists who run White House, not the President of the United States, will indebt the Philippines with so much debt that we cannot recover from the debts by the IMF or the stupid International Monetary Fund that funded the destruction of Yugoslavia, the demonization of the Serbian people, the demonization of the Christians all over. It's not just Christians, it's also the Muslims who are anti-globalists, the Jews who are anti-Zionists, and even to most people that really care about the world. I just have one message for the globalists. Instead of making wars, instead of making this stupid same-sex marriage as a norm in Western Europe or in those countries that they subjugate, why not help the Africans? Why not improve the standard of living? Why not create some space stations? Why not advance technology for the people and not to spread war? I'm just so disappointed with how the world lives. Many people are being killed. Many people are enslaved. But what propaganda do we get? Degenerate, of course. It's not anymore a propaganda. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a public law, like what Michael Parenti mentioned. And to the likes of Boris Malagursky, John Bosnich, and to those who expose the globalist threat or the dangers of the migrant crisis that are being used by the globalists and infiltrating Europe with the most radical of the Muslims and of the moderates. That's very despicable. Look at the world. Assad is being demonized, yes. But that's how Gaddafi was demonized before he was wrongfully killed by the Takfiris who are funded by Hillary Clinton. The same Takfiris that will sodomize and kill Ambassador Stevens in Benghazi in what is known as Benghazi Gate. No one reacted. Donald Trump reacted savage, or Alex Jones reacted about Benghazi Gate. And even if they are hardcore Americans, they're conservative, they're hardcore conservatives. They're very angry with how their country is being run. And I saw in the media how Donald Trump or Vladimir Putin or even others like the Kremlin-funded RT is being bashed. All of them are being bashed by the Western mainstream media just because they expose the truth, or they deliver the narrative that the mainstream media doesn't want, or the globalist agenda, like how I wanted to say. I just hope those people who wanted war or who wanted this to destabilize society, or everyone in the world would think, let's talk. Let's go to the table. Let's talk about it. Let's not kill any innocent people. Let's correct the borders. And let's help each other. That, my friends, that is from me. I grew up a Christian. I don't want to mention what sect I am. The important thing is, we're just people. God sees us. We should not fight each other. I mean, I myself posted some comments that other people would think as offensive, but I just want to know, I don't want war or anymore, or pointless wars like how those Filipino warmongers on that fake nationalist page would make. All I want is, let's go to the table. Let's see how many lives will be killed if we continue with these wars. And is it just territory that is counting? It is just a propaganda that the globalists advance to the people that this is the norms, this is already the 21st century, we should be equal. No, it's not that case. It's not the case. I want to mention as well, I would personally attack those people that want to spread wars, wanted to spread all of these stupid conflicts that destroy the world. I mean, we are Christians, we are Muslims, we are Jews, we are Buddhists, Hindus, and also atheists as well. But we should all know who is the real enemy. And while we are praying for the enemy to be enlightened, let's have courage. Let not the globalists attack our hearts, because they will attack us from our hearts. They will establish these stupid propagandas. That's all.